Today was quite interesting. For those of you who are not familiar with what went down or what occurred earlier in this day, Trump had to call off a rally in Chicago, Illinois, due to the fact that there were a number of protests which were violent in nature. We actually have footage of the event, and I'm sorry for that. A good chunk of the people involved got physical. They beating each other around, punching, throwing lunges, and just really acting in a foolish manner. And I don't care if they were his supporters or if they were people who have opposition to him, such as myself. That was no way to conduct themselves in somewhere that is public, especially somewhere that a major political candidate is supposed to appear in. I always have believed in integrity and open-mindedness. Now, when you go to someone's event, if I ever went to a Trump rally, which I don't think I ever will, I would never cause the ruckus that would incite me being thrown out or being denied access. The only way they would know my opposition to him would be if they go and watch my videos, and I'm not even that popular at all, so it wouldn't even matter anyway. But again, that's just my take on my spin, and regardless of whether or not you believe that, it's fine, because I'm still gonna make videos and do what I do. So I really thought about the way this story was presented, and it's very interesting because you had people outside who were going around and saying we're for him, we're for him, we're for him. And you had people around there who were against him, and certainly in my view that made up the majority of protesters who were protesting him being there, while others were protesting the protesters. They're protesting. And you even had Megyn Kelly in her follow-up on his story incite a claim that this was a result of a ban of freedom of speech on the part of the protesters, not willing to listen to Trump as he speaks. Now, I almost want to respectfully argue against that notion, only because the reason they're out there protesting against him is because they have heard him speak. They have heard him talk about issues and people and policies. And those are things that have really affected him negatively over the course of this campaign, ever since he launched back in June. And I can't fathom how you have people who are actually supportive of this man that are able to overlook most of his policies. That's what separates the Republican establishment, the Republicans who make up the better part of this party. They're going for Cruz, Rubio, and Kasich at this point, and people who are currently going for him. There's no way that me as a African American male will support a candidate who does not debunk David Duke. There's no way me as a Catholic male who believes all religions have a place in America will support a man who wants to ban Islam or ban the religion that Muslims take in. There's no way I will support someone who has made the comments about Hispanic immigrants as he has. And you can't particularly target them. They're not the majority of immigrants coming into this country. It's something that I've expressed before. Just these are fundamental things that make it to where I would never vote for this man. He's the only person out of this entire group of 6 that would never get my vote. and Clinton's not too far behind him. But I would rather take her over him. That's how bad I find him to be. These are not me trying to incite some type of negative policy on my part, or make him look bad, or talk down about him, or talk smack about him as I've been accused of, or try to ruin his candidacy. This is about me wanting to stand up for what the GOP, the Republican Party, actually believes in. They're not sitting over here thinking, oh, how can we get elected and ruin people's lives and make the rich wealthy, as members of the liberal media try to incite, and as members of these different types of commentating organizations try to claim. I'm not too prone to using liberal media as a word, but there is a good portion of society that is liberal, and that's fine. But you can't go around and skate around the fact that the majority of candidates, the other three men in this race, are all honorable, decent Americans. Now, Trump, I don't know the man personally, but those policies are not what America stands for. And that is exactly why these people came to his rally and just, I guess, messed it up, or as people are trying to say, caused it to be canceled. He caused it to be canceled when he went out and said the things he said about people. He caused it to be canceled when he went out and was as deliberate in his opposition to these groups as he possibly could be. I don't see how anyone supports him with all those things in mind. They're either glossing over him trying to ban a religion, or they want it. And again, I don't believe the majority of people want that. I will never stand with a candidate who supports banning an entire religion. That's insane. And any person I see who supports him, that's the first thing I bring up when I say I will never support this man. No way. And they're talking about if it comes down to him and Clinton, I would rather not vote at all. I would rather vote for the Libertarian. At least then that would be honorable. Just as the Democrats, there are a number of them who, if they put a donkey under the ticket, they'll vote for the donkey. If they put an elephant under the Republican ticket, I won't vote for the elephant. It's the candidate that should always matter, and this candidate is not adequate. He's not a representation of what the Republican Party is about, of what the GOP actually means to people and what it means to America. It's mind-boggling that you even have someone who's supported as many insane things as he has, being able to get this far. It's insane. And I always like to believe that people fundamentally are good, that people have the capabilities to realize what is right, what is good, what is great. If Republicans want candidates that can actually properly embody values that are essential to America, or essential to conservatism. I'm just tripping up on my words. That's how badly I'm feeling at this point. Go for Ted Cruz. Go for Marco Rubio. Go for John Kasich. And you know what? Go to whichever one is doing the best. We know who that is. It's not about liking someone because they look sexually attractive or they've been in government for longer than I've been alive. It's about going for someone who you believe will do as they say they will do. And not only do I believe Trump will not do, that's the scary part about him. There are things I believe he will do, and there are things that I don't want to see risks. I believe he will try to issue some type of ban on Muslims. I don't know. I am scared that he will try to deport every single person who's here illegally. Rubio had a comprehensive immigration reform act or bill, proposal, whatever. And it just seems as if they're ignoring that and going for someone who they can identify with more simply because they know his name. President Obama was a virtual unknown when he ran initially. And over the course of his campaign, he became more well known. So why can't they just let history repeat itself on the basic fundamental of allowing someone to get their message across and then deciding, I'm going to vote for you, I'm going to support you, I'm going to endorse you, I'm going to be there for you. It shouldn't be this hard to decide that. That's ridiculous. So yes, this is 2 videos in one. I really am tired of people believing this nonsense that this man will actually be good for them. And I'm glad that happened. I'm sick of him being able to just go around and speak this way and think people aren't going to have this type of reaction. Whether you like Hillary Clinton or not, she's not having this type of negative reaction to her candidacy from mainstream America because her comments are not widely disagreed with as far as basic policies that include discrimination, which he's encouraging. It's insane. And it's not what the GOP is about. The Republican Party is not for this man, and I am confident that one of the other members of the party can clinch the nomination away from him. We'll see what happens. Have a good day.